Hey there, this is Ty Miller on the Portfolio Strategies team with Five Plan Partners. Hope you're doing well. I'm here with another educational insights, and today's focus is going to be on the new Fed chair and how they're often tested early in their process of being nominated and then confirmed. We, of course, have a new Fed chair nomination in Kevin Warsh, and given our recent history of inflation and lackluster job growth, I don't believe many people are envious of his job. Today, however, I would like to dive more into the market reaction to a new Fed chair. If we go through the last handful of Fed chair nominations, you can see a common theme. One of our favorite sayings in the office is history doesn't repeat itself, but it does often rhyme. And this is certainly the case here. So let's start back with Paul Volcker in the late 70s, early 80s. And as you can see in this chart, the time from his nomination to the actual confirmation was rather short, about 2 weeks, but the market did rise during that brief period of time. However, shortly after his confirmation, Volcker was tested by the market not once, but twice. And what do I mean by tested by the market? I'm essentially talking about increased volatility or some sort of pullback in the market. So in Volcker's case, he was tested with a 10% pullback and then another 17% pullback a few months later. Now, if we look at Alan Greenspan, you can see again that the time from nomination to confirmation was pretty profitable if you were in the market. However, after confirmation, Greenspan was immediately hit with a 35% market correction. Another example is Ben Bernanke, a similar but less exciting story. So nomination to confirmation, we saw market enthusiasm only to be hit with about an 8% drawdown months after he was confirmed. Janet Yellen, of course, is another case where her chart looks the same with a good market from nomination to her actual confirmation, which, by the way, can take months, as we've seen with everyone except for Paul Volcker. But then after confirmation, the market saw a couple of pullbacks in the 6 and 10% ranges. Lastly, we have our most recent Fed chair, Jay Powell. We had a pretty substantial run-up from nomination to right around that confirmation date, especially late in that process. But then we immediately saw a 12% pullback and then another 20% correction not long thereafter. So what can we expect this year with Kevin Warsh? Well, if history tells us anything, we could see a strong market from his nomination to his confirmation, just like the previous ones. And then after confirmation, see him be tested and have to make some tough decisions on rates and the outsized Fed balance sheet and what he needs to do after that confirmation period. So keep that in mind this year. It is a midterm election year, so it has its own form of historical data, but we're here to help and here to talk about it. And please join us again next time.